Hello, hello, bonjour, Connect Hearing community. Happy to be back here for our last Facebook Live of 2020. I know everybody's happy that 2020 is getting to an end. So thank you for being here for all this, months. So today, because of course we know we are gonna all have a little different Christmas, I thought a good topic for today was to talk about telephone solutions for you to communicate with your family and friends throughout the holidays. And it will be telephone solutions. I will include information about Landline. I saw already some questions there that people had. We'll talk about Bluetooth and video calls and using your tablet, laptop. So we have lots to talk about it. Hey, hi Lise, hi Arthur. So Santa was nice to me already. My parents finally were able to come back home from Brazil. So they arrived over 2 weeks ago and went through the quarantine and everything is good. They're healthy. So I'm super thankful for that. Hopefully you can have a good surprise for your Christmas as well. And so today we're gonna be talking about telephone solutions, but it's a special Facebook Live. You might have seen on our posting that we have a giveaway. So I already see quite a bit of people joining me. Hi, David Morris. Hey, nice seeing you. So there is a giveaway. So all you need to do today to be participating of the giveaway is to like the video. If you want to add a comment or a question below the video, you get a bonus entry. So just one bonus entry for each of you. And we have 24 hours to participate of the giveaway. So it will be on until 9 p.m. Pacific time tomorrow. So if you have a friend that can be live here with me, you can just share the video and they can like the video and be participating of that. And the winner will be announced on Friday, the 18th, okay, at 12 p.m. Pacific time. So more information about the giveaway will be posted below my video here today. But just to give you an idea, we're just putting some things with Connect Hearing brand, a backpack, a water bottle, a $60 Tim Hortons card. So there's some stuff you're gonna get. Hey, hi Kevin, how Tracy? Wow, we have a lot of people. Thank you guys for being here. So if you just join us and you've never been here before, my name is Christiane Basilio. I am an audiologist and I have a doctorate degree of audiology, and I've been working in the field for about 18 years. And we have been doing live videos throughout the year to bring you some information and to improve your quality of life and make you a better consumer, okay? So here we go. Let's start talking about, because we have lots to talk about today. I'll try not to talk too quickly because I know that doesn't help who have hearing loss. So I'll try to move my mouth well, and because unfortunately we cannot add closed caption in our videos, okay? So why do I want to talk about telephone solutions? In some of my videos, I have mentioned the importance of when you have a hearing loss, for us to understand the speech well, we need to hear through both ears. And also, of course, that face-to-face. So when we read lips a little bit, watching facial expressions, that helps a lot to understand speech, right? If you think about it, when we're on the phone, none of those two things happen, right? So we are only hearing through one side and we can't see the face of the person. We cannot read their lips. So that's the reason why it gets so challenging for some type of hearing losses, because they don't have those two helps, right? And then people get very frustrated, and especially in a year like this year, where most of communications were based on telephone calls, right? Or a video calls. So what I want to share with you today are some recommendations. First, I will be talking about landline phones, because I know a lot of you still have your landline phones and you might have a cell phone just for emergency. So you want to know more about landline phones. So we'll talk about that. And then after, I'll go over more about cell phones, tablets, computer, if you're gonna be doing any virtual calls with your family, any video calls. So I'll give you some tips there to how to perform better in those situations, okay? So nice, hi, hello. Oh, Paul, I got this sweater last year. I love it. It looks like very Christmas sweater. I don't remember when I got it, but I remember later, I'll let you know. So talking about landline phones, okay? So my first two recommendations is when, just for you to try something with the phone you already have. One thing I had mentioned before is the location of the phone, okay? So if you have a telephone, a hearing aid, I mean, that is inside the ears, you can of course just hold the phone normally. But if you have a hearing aid that sits over the ears, then you needed to remember to hold the phone a little closer to the top of the ear, okay? Because the microphone is right there. So in some situations, that's all you need to do, okay? Just to place the phone a little higher. So this is a simple recommendation. My second simple recommendation, I would say, is use on the phone, you should maybe use the speaker button, okay? So if you try to talk on the phone and you place the phone correctly and you're still having problems, try to use the speaker button, because the speaker button will get the sounds through both ears, right? So it will help a little bit more than when you're just trying to hear in one side, especially if you have a hearing aid, the behind the ears, that has a more occluding tip. So if what goes in your ears occludes more your hearing, your ear, because of the type of hearing loss you have, you need that. You might want to use the speaker button on your phone to hear both ears, okay? Those are the two simple solutions that I want to mention for what you already have at home. If you were looking for a new phone, for a landline phone, I want you to understand that not all phones out there are compatible to hearing aids, okay? So phones are labeled hearing aid compatible. So they're labeled HAC. So when you're looking for a phone, try to find a phone that is hearing aid compatible, okay? Depends on the hearing loss, you might don't need that, okay? So some hearing losses, just having the hearing aids, you do just fine on the phone. But some hearing losses, you might need a better phone, okay, to understand speech. And this hearing aid compatible landline phones, they have an amplification, okay? So they can change, they can have two options, usually 40 decibels amplification or a 50 decibels amplification. And not all places out there have these specific phones. So you might need to look maybe for, we can help you, of course, in the clinics to, through some websites to order some of these phones, okay? Because they will be more helpful. I did some digging around and try some different phones, and I found one that is working really well to more the telephones, the hearing aids, I mean, that has Bluetooth. So there is landline phones that are Bluetooth compatible, but not all of them are compatible to the phones, okay? So I found one and I don't have it. I just printed because I want to show you the look of it. That's the look of it, okay? So I can after add the name of this phone, and we can even give you the website you can order from. So we don't sell them at Connect Hearing, but we can definitely help you to find where to find this phone. So this phone, this Clarity phone, it's hearing aid compatible. It has a 50 decibels amplification, has the speaker button if you still need that, but it also has Bluetooth. So it can connect directly to the hearing aid. So if you have the latest technology, I would say maybe 2.5 to 3 years, the Marvels or Paradise, they have a direct connectivity to Bluetooth devices. So this phone works really well with those. Okay, so if you're looking for something like that, but it can actually work well with most of hearing aids because it's a hearing aid compatible phone and it's quite a powerful device. Okay, so I can add more information or send us a message if you want to know more about it, but definitely works well. My next solution for landline phones, I want to talk today about t-coil. I don't know if you have heard about it, but t-coil stands for telephone coil, okay? So t-coil, it's a little coil that is inserted in the hearing aid, and it works as an antenna, like a microphone, a receiver, antenna. And the sounds, it converts the electromagnetic sound to a sound signal, okay? So t-coil is a feature that has in most of hearing aids. The very little hearing aids in the ears don't have that. And some of the behind the ear, if they're very small as well, they didn't have t-coil, but most of them have a t-coil, okay? T-coil has been in the market for years, okay? So even since I started working 18 years ago, we already had t-coils. And was very helpful at that time for who had a more severe hearing loss. The problem that happens over the years were the telephones. So once the telephone companies start making the phones smaller and lighter, the voice coil in those phones, they were not strong enough to activate the t-coil in the hearing aid. So for quite some time, even myself, I didn't bring it up much, this feature, for a lot of patients because the phones wouldn't work very well with it anymore, okay? Thankfully, the hearing aid associations, the hearing loss associations, they contacted the telephone companies, and all they needed to do was to add a little coil in the headset to just create a stronger magnetic field to connect to the t-coil in the hearing aid, okay? So what the t-coil does is the sound that you're hearing through the phone, you only hear whatever is coming through the phone. You can even shut out any background noise around you, okay? So it's quite helpful if you have a more significant hearing loss. And all these phones that I mentioned to you that is hearing aid compatible will have a stronger magnetic field in those. So it can work better with the t-coil in your hearing aid, okay? So that's something I want you keep in mind, and perhaps ask your clinician if you have a t-coil, because even the in-the-ear hearing aids have t-coils, okay? And it can be very helpful. T-coil, as we're talking about t-coil, I just want to give you the full information about it. It's not only used for phones, it also can be used for some public places, okay? So if you go to, for example, some theaters, museums, airports, they might have a symbol like this. That's the t-coil symbol. So that means that environment is looped. So they put a loop, they install a loop system, and this loop system connects to the t-coil, okay? So a lot of places out there in Europe, this is very big, okay? Most of theaters, museums, they are looped. So if you're going to a trip next year, once all the COVID ends, make sure you know how to use the t-coil in your hearing aid, because it can be very helpful in those public situations, okay? And in Canada, I understand that it's getting a little bigger. Some areas, I know in the interior, here Kelowna, Kamloops area, they are adding more loop system in a lot of public situations and public environments, I mean. And it's something about you guys to advocate for that. You know, it's not an expensive things for them to install, and it can help a lot for you to listen. It's kind of, you have always the best seat. If you're in a theater with a t-coil switched on, you hear really well, even if you're far from the stage, okay? So something to keep in mind and ask that, okay? So that's what I have for the landline phones. I see there's a lot of people watching me. Hi Kathy, I see questions. We'll go over questions at the end of the video, okay? Hey Serge, hi. Okay, so let's jump into talking about Bluetooth, okay? So we talk about landlines, t-coil. I think those two things are important for us to keep in mind. Now I want to talk about Bluetooth hearing aids, okay? And I had already made, I'm sure you might have watched my videos or someone else's video about pairing hearing aids to Bluetooth. So I'm just gonna quickly go over that, but then we can help you. But the reason I wanna kind of remind you about it is now Christmas coming, holidays, and you might, your family might wanna do like a Zoom meeting with you, a FaceTime meeting. All you need to do is to have your device paired to your hearing aids. So that way you're gonna hear in both ears and it's a super clean sound, okay? So I have my iPad on the Bluetooth feature. I just wanna show you quickly what you need to do, okay? And you need to put your hearing aids into pairing mode, okay? So hearing aids, to put in pairing mode, if you have a hearing aid that has a battery style, all you need to do is to open and close. They go into pairing mode. And then we'll put the phone into pairing mode as well, okay? If you have the rechargeable hearing aids, all you need to do is to press the button, the lower side of the button, the lower part. You hold for 3 seconds, it will turn off, and then you hold it again, it will turn on. So you see a green light blinking. That means they are on pairing mode. And then you're gonna put your phone into a pairing mode that I'll show you in a moment. And I will revise as well, because some of you might have this Bluetooth. So I'll show you in a moment how you put this into pairing mode, okay? So if you have this device and you wanna use that for your voice, your video calls, all you need to do, I'm gonna remind you that you have on the side here, there's an arrow button. You wanna click the arrow with the plus button at the same time. So when you click that, I'm not gonna, let me see if I can show you. When you click that, they will start flashing blue, okay? So that means it is into a pairing mode. And then you get your cell phone, your tablet into the Bluetooth and we'll pair them, okay? So I know it's a little fast because I have lots to talk today and I already made a video about it, but I just wanna kind of remind you that. So once you have your devices into pairing mode, I will show you quickly one thing, okay? Just gonna flip here. So all you need to go is go to your settings and you go on the Bluetooth and you click on it. If your hearing aid is on, it's going to find here and will show connected, okay? So that's all you need to do. So it will show, probably will find my accessory here. That's my Bluetooth accessory. It will show in there, okay? And that's all you need to do. If you're using your tablet or your cell phone to do any video call with your friends and family, and I would encourage you to try that because the video call is like me talking now, right? So you can see the face of the person and you can hear well through both ears, okay? So it's quite beneficial, okay? So once the Bluetooth is connected, to the phone, I want to actually, sorry, I lost a bit here. I want to talk about the cell phones because remember I mentioned about the landlines, they need to be hearing aid compatible, right? Same thing applies to cell phones, okay? So they are labeled HAC, hearing aid compatible. And if you're looking for a new cell phone, there is 2 other ratings that you want to look for, okay? And ask the salesperson. They need to have a rating for the microphone. They call it M rating. And usually the higher the rating, less interference, less distortion of the sound you're gonna get. So usually M3 and M4 are the best. And they have the same rating for t-coil as well, okay? Because cell phones can be t-coil compatible as well. So they will have the rating of a T3 and a T4, okay? So if you're looking for a phone, I know the iPhones are M3, so they're supposed to be, working well. Of course, it depends on the hearing aid you have, it depends on the hearing laws you have, but if you're looking for something new, I would ask for that, having a hearing aid compatible label, rating for the microphone, and rating for the T-coil. And the higher the rating, the better it's gonna work with the Bluetooth with your hearing aids, okay? So that's something I wanna share with you. Let's see, okay. Oh, Phonak, hi, hello. Oh, Ira, hi. So we have the Bluetooth connected, and I want to mention something. I don't know if you have problems. So if you have the latest, just want to talk a little bit about troubleshooting, okay? When you're using the Bluetooth with your hearing aids, remember you need to be max like 5 to 10 meters away from the device, okay? So Bluetooth has a distance to pick up the sound. So if it's too far away, the connection might cut off and you're just not gonna be happy with the sound quality, okay? So 5 to 10 meters, okay? Far from the cell phone. Let me see if I forgot something here. Okay, yeah, so that's it. And then another thing I want to mention as well is when you have your Bluetooth connected and the phone rings, you don't want to answer right away, okay? So let's say I have my hearing aids here and I do hear the phone is ringing. I want to wait a couple of rings because you want to make sure that the ring went through the hearing aids. You're not just hearing through the microphones of the hearing aid, okay? Because sometimes it takes a while for the phone to recognize your hearing aid. So if the phone rings and you click right away, it might not have recognized yet, so the phone call is not gonna go through the hearing aids. This applies to any type of Bluetooth. So the direct connectivity ones, or if you have the Compilot, would be the same way, okay? You don't want to click the button to answer the phone very quickly, just wait a few rings, okay? So let's say you did what I told you to do, you waited a few seconds, and you're still not getting them to communicate to your hearing aids. And you checked, Bluetooth was connected, the device is connected. What happens in some devices, because they are set up to automatic switch from the speaker from the cell phone to your hearing aids, they maybe not be recognizing at all. And you might need to change the settings in your hearing aids, in your cell phone, okay? So I wanna show you something on the iPhone first, and then I'll mention about the Androids, okay? So again, I will switch my screen. So when you are on settings on your iPhone, you wanna scroll here and you wanna find what they call the accessibility, okay? So we're gonna click on there. And when you look at on the right side here, we have an option of hearing devices, okay? So I'm gonna click on it. So what you wanna look here is you want to have your hearing aid compatible if you're having problems, okay, with the Bluetooth. If everything's working well, you don't need to go to this screen, okay? But if you're having problems, that's something you can try, okay? So one thing I wanna mention here is they call audio routing. So I'm gonna click on it. call audio. And you see here, this is how it changes to recognize your hearing aids. So it's set to automatic as a default. So you might want to change it to always hearing devices. So every time the phone rings, it's gonna go through your hearing aids, okay? And you might want to select as well hearing aid compatibility, okay? So that's something else that can help that connection between your hearing aids and your phone. So again, if everything is working well, don't need to change anything. But if you're having trouble with the connection cutting off, or when you click the button, you are not hearing the phone, the phone call is not going through, or even with the Paradise hearing aids that you just tap on it, you're not getting that connection, you might need to change that, okay? If you have an Android phone, that's not, is different for them. All you need to do is to look for the Bluetooth icon on the top of the phone. So when the phone rings, if you look at your phone and the Bluetooth icon is not selected, like it's not showing, that means the phone call is not going through the hearing aids, okay? So you need to click on that icon and then they're gonna go through the hearing aids, okay? So unfortunately, phones are not a simple thing. And I wanna mention to you that because Bluetooth stuff, it's not sometimes difficult with hearing aids, but even when you don't have a hearing aids, okay? So even when you have Bluetooth in the car, sometimes I turn it on my car and the Bluetooth doesn't want to find my device. So things happen with Bluetooth. So sometimes you might need to turn it off and on to troubleshoot. But it's just so you can understand that it's not just the hearing aid connection, it happens to a lot of things, okay, with Bluetooth, a lot of other devices as well, okay? So those are the troubleshootings that I want to show you. And now I want to talk a little bit about, Claudia, hi Rod, thank you, look, Merry Christmas to you as well. I want to talk a bit about now laptops. I don't know if you prefer to use laptop, and if you're doing a video call with your family through Zoom or Skype, it's nicer to use the laptop because you can see everyone in the camera, right? With the cell phone, everybody gets so small. So with the laptop, can be a little tricky to set it up, but I want to explain to you, and you still have a week or so there to for Christmas, so you might have time to play a little bit with it, okay? So let me start talking about the older version of hearing aids with the Compilots, okay? Best way to use the Compilots in your laptop is getting a USB hub, okay, a Sennheiser USB hub Bluetooth, okay, because you will pair this device to the hub. You get a much better connection, okay, and more stable, even if your laptop has Bluetooth most of the time, okay? Or you can connect with a cable, okay? So you can get a cable and connect to your cell phone, to your laptop. Of course, you would need to be closer to the laptop because you're gonna have a cable connected, okay? So that's the best way. So if you have that connected to the laptop, then you can listen the sounds if you're doing a Zoom meeting or any video call, okay? If you have the latest hearing aids, so if you have the direct connectivity ones, that is the Marvel and the Paradise, there is something on your app that you can change, okay? Because this hearing aids, they are compatible to there's two types of Bluetooth. They have the fixed Bluetooth and the adaptive Bluetooth. They set the hearing aids automatically as an adaptive Bluetooth because it usually gives you a better sound quality, okay? But for some laptops, and I heard first was more that I was trying the Apple, but actually I tried with my sister recently, even the Dell computer, we had the same issue. So we needed to change the Bluetooth on the hearing aid to a fixed instead of adaptive, okay? So if you have the app on your phone, I'm gonna show you where to go, okay? So let me just gonna switch my camera again. And I'm just going to show you the app for Phonak. Ooh, it's gonna load here, 1 second. Might take a while. Should have done that before. Let me show you with something else here. Okay. That's not good. I should have tried that before. I just want to show you something, sorry. Okay. So, oh my, I don't think I'm going to show you. I'm sorry. Here I am with my difficult problem. But anyways, when you go to your app, there has like a 3 lines on the top of the app. If you click on there, there will be an option saying hearing aids, my hearing aids, I think it calls. So you click on my hearing aids, and then you will see the option Bluetooth. When you click on Bluetooth, you will see fixed or adaptive. So you need to change it to fixed, okay? After doing that, you needed to turn on and off the hearing aid, just so it saves in the hearing aid, okay? I'm sorry, I should have tried that. I tried on my other phone that I'm using for the video today. But anyways, so you go on your app, my Phonak app, 3 little dots on the top, you click it on top, you'll see my hearing aids. When you click on it, it will give a Bluetooth option, and you can switch from adaptive to fixed Bluetooth. Once you do that and you save it and you connect your hearing aids to the laptop through Bluetooth, your laptop will recognize your hearing aids. Okay, if it's on adaptive, usually it might not recognize, and then you won't be able to hear people. Okay, they might hear you, but you don't hear them. Okay, so that's an option. I wish I could show you, but I can maybe post later or send you a direct message if you have a question where to find it. Or of course, you can go to our clinics and they can show you where to find it. Okay, but I just want to show you the challenge with and explain to you the challenge with hearing aids, Bluetooth, and all these devices is there's so many brands, there's so many little details that every situation is unique. Okay, so if you're having trouble with your specific device, bring to the office, let's take a look, see which kind of Bluetooth you have there, and then we can show you how to do that. Okay, and we can do even I know a lot of places are in lockdown now. I don't want to leave your house. We can even book an appointment through a video and show you specifically through that how to use it. Okay, so I think that's what I had to talk to you about, the video calls and the Bluetooth. Yeah, I think that's all I had it. So I'm gonna take a look on the questions. I know we have quite a lot of questions, so let me take a look here on my emails, and then we can start going over some questions. Okay, haven't got anyone send me, oh, there we go. Okay, so I have some questions here. Okay, I will. So, all right, so there is Annie asked if she's interested, if you have any ideas why Zoom seems to change my settings and everything mutes on the computer. That's probably why, Annie, okay? So you might need to change the Bluetooth from adaptive to fixed in your app if you were using the new hearing aids. If you have the Compilots, and even with the other ones, you need to, when you're doing the Zoom, you need to choose the hearing aid microphone, okay? They always give you options. I know it's hard for me to show here because I wouldn't have time to show every way to connect through video, but they will have settings where you switch to your hearing aid microphone, okay? Lori had a question. When I'm talking on the phone, some people will still sound muffled. Why? So Lori, again, depends on the Bluetooth you have, but usually if people are sound muffled, I would say we can do some fine tunings in your hearing aids, okay? Because the Bluetooth program on the hearing aid is adjusted separately to the hearing aid. So if everything is good with the hearing aid, but just on the phone it sounds muffled, we can do some adjustments on the Bluetooth setting of your hearing aids. Okay, so make sure you go back to the clinic. We can definitely try it out. And one thing I noticed as well, especially if you have the Calm Pilots, you sometimes need to keep the phone volume a bit higher too. Okay, so that helps you to hear more clearly. Kevin have a question. Any idea when Phonak will be fixing their app so the hearing aids keep their setting after a phone call? I think next year, Kevin, I hear they will be updating the app again. But I know that's something, because when you switch, it just go back to the last settings, right? And I know that's annoying for a lot of you. But I haven't heard yet the date, but I do know they're looking into that. It's the most challenging thing ever now is to keep the hearing aids connecting to phones and apps, because the phones update their software all the time. So then the hearing aid companies have to update their app, and it's challenging, okay? But they are aware of the problem, and I know they're looking into that, okay? Carol has a question. What can I do while wearing my mask, glasses and hearing aids at the same time? Have trouble with the aids falling out. Carol, I had some videos talking about face masks, but the main thing, if you have behind the ears and if you don't have this extra tail, I would go to the office and get one of them, okay? Because I'm gonna show you. Hold on. I haven't put this one in my ear yet, so the wire needs to be curled. You see this wire here? Oops, hold on. I'll show you in a moment. Let me just put it on. There we go. Oh, I'm having trouble putting my hearing aids. Okay, there we go. So the wire sits on the bottom here, okay? So when the hearing aid do like this, it's just holding by that extra wire, okay? So I know a lot of people, when they get hearing aids, they don't feel they need that extra wire. And you wouldn't need it if we didn't have the face masks right now. But if you have a dome like this, I would encourage you to have this little extra tail, okay? And we can just add that in the office for you. If that doesn't work, maybe a custom tip. So we needed to get a good fit inside. So if this lodge from the back of the ear, you won't lose the hearing aid, okay? I have a question here from Kathy. Will the phone app eventually be set up so that adjustments can be made during a phone call? Same idea, Kathy, I told Kevin. I know they are looking to that. Depends on the adjustments, because, you know, usually what I find is if you're needing to adjust besides a volume control, what you can already do anyways, but if you're trying to adjust the tone of the voice, the clarity, work with your hearing aid professional, okay? Because we can make that adjustments in the office for the default program. So then during the phone calls, all you should need to do is to turn them up or down, okay? If you're finding you're needing to, that you would like to do adjustments a bit more fine tuning, I would go back to the clinic, okay? They need to try some different adjustments, and then you can try it out there and see if it improves, because you shouldn't need it to be doing that all the time, just a volume adjustment, okay? Nancy asked, is the t-coil always on in the hearing aid? Most of the hearing aids have t-coil. The regular behind the ears always have t-coil. The in the ears that's not the very little ones, they always have t-coil. And then this style, it depends on the size, okay? So for example, I even have one here. The little one doesn't have t-coil. A little larger one has t-coil. I have a question here from Cherry. My problem is that I must wear the Calm Pilot. So she's talking about this guy here. in order to use the phone settings. I don't always have the compiler around my neck, and I find that I always have to take my hearing aids out to hear on the phone. So Cherry, in some type of hearing losses, unfortunately, this is gonna be always the solution, because again, you will hear both ears, okay? If you have a hearing aid that, and you have more significant hearing loss, you might have a more plug in your ears that occludes more your ear canal, make sure you have a phone that's hearing aid compatible, okay? Now that you know about t-coil, so you might wanna use that from your phone. And then placement, okay? So that can help. But if the hearing loss is very significant, really, nothing like that will work. You need to have them around the neck, or the new hearing aids, you don't need that gadget anymore, okay? So they will connect directly from the phone to the hearing aid, okay? So I have a question from Paul. If you are paired with iPhone and iPad, which one gets priority? Good question, Paul. Always the phone, okay? Always phone calls get priority. So if you're using Bluetooth with your TV device, or if you're watching a video through your iPad, if the phone rings, that's gonna be always the priority, okay? Question from Derek. When I use Bluetooth with my Android phone to listen to music when walking, I find the batteries do not last very long. I may only get 1.5 days with the 10 batteries that I use. Is this normal? The 10 batteries, Derek, uses quite a bit of batteries, okay? And especially if you do the Bluetooth, I don't know if you would like only 1.5 days, but I wouldn't expect more than 2-3 days for sure, okay? Because the battery 10 is like this guy here that I have, very small, okay? And that's a complaint my dad have as well, because this is his hearing aid, and he has, we replaced to the bigger batteries as well, and he stopped using these little batteries because he does like to use the Bluetooth a lot. So it's something for you to consider if you're getting hearing aids and you feel Bluetooth is gonna be something you're gonna be using a lot. Don't get the hearing aids that has the smallest battery, okay? Because they won't last too long, okay? And okay, I have a question from David. I have paired my hearing aid to my phone already. Can I still pair my hearing aid to my laptop? Most likely you can. So if you have, David, the latest hearing aids, if you have the Marvel, the Paradise actually, you can pair up to 8 devices. The Marvel, they can be paired to 2 devices, but you need to turn it off one when you're gonna use the other one. With the Paradise, you can have 2 devices active at the same time, okay? If you have this gadget, if you have a streamer, that can pair it to your laptop, to your phone, so you can definitely pair it to more devices as well, okay? So you should be able to pair to both devices for sure. And I have another more question here from Brent. Do I always have to reconnect my iPhone to my hearing aids for Bluetooth to work? Do not. So once you pair the hearing aids to the phones, automatically they will find each other next time you use it, okay? What happens sometimes, you might need to turn it off and on your devices if they're not finding each other anymore. But you won't need to pair them again most of the time, okay? Only if you are using the app, sometimes you might need to do a repairing for some troubleshooting out there, but usually when they're paired, they're paired. So automatically when you turn it on your phone and your hearing aids, they find each other, okay? Okay, I think I went through a lot of questions. I know we have a lot of them here again. It's true, so I see this question here from Phil. It's true that t-coil is used very little in Canada and US compared to United Kingdom. Totally true, Phil. It's true. Yeah, in Europe it's big. Most of the public places have t-coil. And I know, as I said, Canada is getting better. So you guys have a voice, and let's get these places to loop their environments so you can use the t-coil on your hearing aids. That's definitely not a lot of investment that they have to do, and it can be very helpful for a lot of you, okay? But it's definitely true. It has way more in Europe than United States and here. Okay, so let's see what else I can... let's see, we have so many questions. Okay, so, oh, hi Rick, I see you. I hear Christmas carols when I am by myself in the office. Though there isn't any intercom music. Is that a feature on my hearing aid? Is that a... No, you must have been listening. Maybe it's in the background of your phone, okay? So one thing sometimes people forget about it, if you turn it on an app on your phone and you really didn't remove the app completely, like close the app completely, it keep running in the background of the phone. So you might start listening to things that you don't want to, okay? It's just because it's on the back of the phone. Let me see if I can show you how to do that on the iPhone. So basically if you click the two buttons, it opens all the windows that are open, you see? So you can just do like this, and then you really close the window, okay? The app. So if those are running in the back, you might listen to some musics and things that you were listening before that is just running in the back, okay, of the phone. Let's see. Okay, yes, Kathy will update soon. Okay, all right. So I think we got a lot of questions. I want to remind you about the giveaway. So don't forget to like the video and add some comments. I see you guys already add a lot of comments there, so that's nice. Thank you for your participation. Hopefully I brought something new again today. And it's always a pleasure to be here. So we did post some information about the giveaway there, and we'll announce the winner on Facebook on Friday the 18th around 12 p.m. I believe of our time here, Pacific time. So thank you again. I wish you a wonderful, wonderful Christmas with your family. I know won't be the same for a lot of us, but let's wish for a better 2021. I'm just planning. I haven't told my boss yet, but I'm planning. I need 3 weeks vacation once I can travel again. So I'm sure everybody's waiting for that moment. We want to be free again, right? But thank you again. Really appreciate, and stay safe, stay connected. Have a wonderful time with your family over the Christmas, and hopefully you can communicate with them through the phones with my tips today. Okay, thank you again, guys. Bye bye.